Do a quick update on this filter. I say update, I never even talked about it in the first place. So I got the Rabbit as a kind of project car for autocross, rallycross, and maybe some track days. The original, or the previous owner, had installed a K&N sort of intake that basically ran down over here through that hole and was hanging down behind the bumper but in front of the front tire. You can actually see an old license plate down there that I bolted in to protect that during the first couple of rally crosses I ran, keep it from ingesting a bunch of dirt. I'm not a fan personally of K&N filters. I don't care for any kind of oiled gauze filter, especially if you're going to be running something in a dirty, dusty environment. So I went on the hunt for a filter. Well, rewind a little bit. I got the new speed intake. Comes with this little heat shield here. Probably doesn't do a whole lot. Looking at onboard data from the computer, I can get to about 3 or 4 degrees over ambient whenever I'm moving, but whenever you're stopped, it picks up temperature pretty fast. Not a huge deal, to me anyway. I'm not looking for outright performance. So the new speed intake came with a K&N filter, and it's like one of the only models that has a 3-inch flange, and then it had enough of a neck here to get past this point, and then it would put the big canister filter over here. I actually have it in the spare parts room over here. Let's see, it's this filter right here. So this was the filter that came with the new speed. You can get this on from K&N by looking up the data for the filter itself. But that long neck right there is kind of unique as far as I can tell. I went through a few other filters like this one, just trying to find something that was not oiled gauze. This is an AEM dry flow, and I was not having a whole lot of luck. That didn't have enough of a neck to keep it from rubbing on parts inside the engine bay. So I went searching again on Google, and I found a few references to the Honda S2000 factory air filter has a right at 3-inch inside diameter flange. So I ordered one. They're not really cheap. There seems to be, it's not like a normal filter where everybody makes one. I think this is a Mall, and there's like 1 or 2 other companies that make just plain old filters. There you go, Mall LX5213. So this had enough of a neck on it to get it away from this right here is where the old filters would rub on part of the battery box and where it would support this heat shield. So this filter had enough of a flange on it to get it away from there, and it's just a plain old paper element air filter, which I prefer. After running that for a few oil changes and at least 1 oil analysis, I've got no goo like you would get from an oil gauze filter in the intake tube or on the mass airflow sensor, because I mean it's a paper filter, there's nothing there to get gooed up. And there's no dust in the intake that I'm able to see, including wiping clean white rag through there. I'm not finding any kind of debris. Oil analysis also came back good for silicone, which would indicate a filtration problem. If there was silicone in the oil analysis, I'm not seeing that. So this is a fairly large surface area filter. And this is, let's see, from, I want to say 4 rally crosses or so. It's definitely dirty, and you can actually see a rubbed spot right there. That's from where it's rubbing on the battery cable, coming down off the battery. So it's not a perfect fit. I just I keep an eye on that. I take the filter off enough and inspect it that if I wound up wearing a hole in that pleat, I'll know and I can replace it. I will throw something in the description for this video that shows the price on these filters. It's not as cheap as just going out and buying, you know, just a Fram paper filter off of the shelf or anything, but they're not outrageously expensive either. And if you replace it, you know, once a year, every 6 months, whatever you think is reasonable for your use case, you're not spending that much money per mile, really. This one is still, it's dirty, but I'm going to keep running it. I'm going to try to get a year out of it. I'm about 5 months in on this filter, I think, 4 or 5 months in. We'll see how it goes. So, yeah, if you're looking for a non-OEM or non-K&N, non-oiled gauze paper top filter, Honda S2000 air filter. Honda S2000 filter. So this is actually this is a genuine Honda part here. The other one is a mall, but anywho, if you're looking for a solution for that and you don't like K&Ns, that's one solution. If you're looking for a cone filter to go on a 3-inch intake, which is incredibly common intake outside diameter. Until next time.